Power grid failure in New York causes panic, highlights the importance of prepping. This is on Zero Hedge by Tyler Durden, authored by Max Slavo via SHTF Plan. A recent power grid failure in New York caused panic and even stoked the fear of an alien invasion. With so many dependent on the electrical power grid, it's important to be prepared for the worst. Even President Trump has taken it upon himself to sign an executive order declaring an electromagnetic pulse, EMP, could be debilitating to the United States power grid. Far too many Americans won't know what to do when the inevitable finally happens, and things will get dire should we have to live without power for more than a week. Quote, "It is the policy of the United States to prepare for the effects of EMPs through targeted approaches that coordinate whole-of-government activities and encourage private sector engagement," unquote, said the executive order released by the White House. A congressional report warned that an EMP attack on the East Coast could kill 90% of those in the area over the course of 1 year due to the lack of food, money, fuel, electricity, medical care, and more. And they forgot to say water here as well. The infrastructure is crumbling, and while the government claims they intend to secure the power grid, most of us know much better. The best the rest of us can do is make sure we are armed with knowledge and the survivalist mentality. Americans largely have put their survival in the hands of the government, but if you're reading this, you probably want to become more self-sufficient. Beginning by preparing for a lengthy power grid failure, regardless of whether it was an EMP attack or an infrastructure failure, it's a great start, an excellent first step when fueling your prepper's mindset. First of all, start by storing extra water. If you have a well, you're already a giant leap ahead of those who do not, but you'll need to figure out a way to retrieve water without power. If you don't have a well, you should begin by making sure you have enough water for at least 6 weeks. Each person will need about 7.5 gallons per day. That seems daunting, but it includes drinking, cooking, washing, clothing, and personal hygiene. And next, you have to store food. Find a safe place you can hide away by bulk, non-perishable food items, and if the grid fails, grocery stores will cease by being stocked with food and will eventually run out completely. Canned vegetables to store or store and buy extra canned goods when you go to the grocery store. The last step for now is to find a cool, dark place to hide your food and water. Yes, it should be hidden. Consider keeping your stock of supplies a secret as well. The fewer who know, the fewer who pose a threat to your supplies if a grid failure stretches past the week. People get desperate when they are hungry, and you may need to defend your food or water if too many others know that you've got it and where you've stored it. Keep a survivalist mentality and rely on yourself. Prepping for a grid failure is one of the best ways to ensure the health and safety of your family in a worst-case scenario. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.